Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're going to talk about By the Vote, and this is published by Coozies Games. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out. And also, I'm going to talk some more before you can talk about the game. Look at these buttons.
Ooh.
They match the game. See? By the Vote.
Not that any candidate would ever do that or try that.
Never.
But the good news is this is a game about politics, but it's not a political game. I really want to stress that. You know, there is no parties in this game. There is none of that going on. There is no debates. There is no topics. You're just literally exploring the Electoral College, trying to get enough electoral votes in order to win. All right, let me show you how it plays. All right, here is our setup for By the Vote. Every player is going to have this little mat here, as well as a voting booth. This really handy little kind of privacy thing here as well. It's going to list all the different states and what their electoral votes are, so you have that as a reference. But then also acts as a shield, so no one can see what you are bidding on. We can get rid of that for now, because we're not really going to actually bid against anybody, but just want to show you guys that. All right, so what's going to happen is, over the course of these rounds, we are going to have more and more of these state cards come up on the board. And what we're going to do is we're going to put money on our mat here, showing that we are going to run advertising, aka auction or bid on those states. Now we're going to start with some income. Here in the first round, we're going to get $10 million. And then during the fourth round, we're going to get $20 million plus $2 additional million per state that we have. And then during the seventh round, we're going to get an additional $30 million plus $2 more million per state that we have. So getting those states early can be important. It can really help out your funds later on. So we're going to start off with $10 million, and we're going to put it all in our little unused spot over here. That's close enough. We'll get these out of the way. Now remember, this is kind of protected. No one can see what we're working on over here. Now we've got these different things over here. These are kind of showing what states are coming out. So during round one, we're actually going to have 3 different states that we can bid on. Now, every player behind their shield is going to bid on these states. You know, we have state 1, 2, and 3, matching 1, 2, and 3. Maybe we'll put 2 on this one, maybe we'll put 1 on that one, and we leave the rest here for later rounds. And then at the end of the round, everyone's going to reveal, they're going to lift off their shield. They're going to say, you know, who had the most on state 1? They get that one. Who had the most on state 2? Maybe it was us. We get this one. And who had the most on state 3? And they're going to get that one. Now, at the very top of these cards here, there's kind of a little bar here showing electoral votes. That's really cool and important because that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get electoral votes. So we're going to put our cards that we gain underneath here, and it's going to start a little, if I can line up there, a little bar there, a little graph showing how many votes we have. We're just kind of eyeballing it. Obviously, we can do the math and add them up, but just as kind of a guideline, let's say if we add a few more in there, obviously, California's worth 55, it's a whole bunch. And if we were to add all these up like that, and we put them on underneath that board there, we can kind of just see at a glance how many we have. That's a really bad demonstration, but you get it. I would need 2 hands to do that, which I don't have right now. Now let's pretend one of these states did not get bought. All right? That's still out there. Now during round 2, an additional state's going to come out. So we're going to put one over here. Now at state 3 over here, it's going to have an additional state on it because no one purchased it. So now we have this scenario. You can bid on this pile, this whole pile here of multiple states, or this new one. The same thing is going to happen. Whoever bids the most on each pile is going to be able to collect that and add that to their electoral votes. The game's kind of going to fill out more and more. So obviously after round 4, there's actually going to be 6 different piles out there. And the cards are going to keep on coming out on top of all of them. What's interesting what's going to happen is we're going to have 8 rounds. And eventually there's going to be a full 9 cards out there. Let's get in the right order. 9 cards that we're bidding on. And it's going to be a lot of chaos. You really want to kind of save your money up so you can kind of bid on a wide variety of things. Now there's red cards and there is blue cards representing, you know, what the political party they normally lean towards. That you can ignore in this game. That does not come to any bearing. However, the one thing that does come into play are these colorless cards. Those are going to be called swing states. If you win a swing state, well, it is on top of a pile. Now, for instance, Ohio is underneath a pile, so it doesn't count. But if you were to win Colorado, this one on top over here, what would happen is you get to choose a player and steal their most recent state that they've won. So that can cause some really crazy chaos in the game, especially if one of the cards they've most recently won is worth a lot of electoral votes. Now, this game is timed. You have a 15-minute timer going the whole time, and really, you don't even necessarily need it. You know, the game's going to play about 10 to 15 minutes by itself, but it kind of helps push the pace a little bit, just in case one or more players is playing a little slowly. It encourages them to move a little faster. And then, no matter what, at the end of that 15-minute timer, the game is going to end. Now, you need 270 electoral votes to win, just like in the real American presidency. However, it kind of goes back to like the old school rules of the Electoral College. Whoever has the most electoral votes and whoever has the second most electoral votes is going to team up together. That's going to be their running mate. So you're going to have a president and a vice president candidate. And if you combined, you get 270 votes. Those people are going to be the winners. It does play 2 players as well, but in that scenario, basically what we're trying to do is you're just trying to get 270 votes all by yourself. And that can get a little bit more chaotic, especially with those swing states and stuff going. But yeah, that's the goal of the game. Get those electoral votes and become the president by getting lots and lots of advertising dollars out there. So as you can see, this game was super fast to teach. The box has 3 minutes to learn, if that. It's just a really quick learn. I think it's a great way to just give a really brief understanding of what the Electoral College looks like. Not everybody knows, not everybody understands that. Not even Americans understand it, why it is, what it is, how it works, how to win. So I think this is just a really nice snapshot of how the Electoral College works. And obviously it's super simulated in a weird way, but mathematically how it works.
Yeah. And the advertising is accurate. You really can win the presidency in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually timed.
Yeah, this game really is 15 minutes. Sometimes you see that on games and you're like, do this in less than X amount of minutes. Dino deal. And you're just like, whatever, that's not true. But this one is. It is true. It really is just 15 minutes.
Wow, that was like some targeted I liked how the pacing of this game happened. It expanded more and more as the game went on. So first only just fighting over a few states, and then there's all these different areas you need to bid on. And then
it adds on if nobody won it. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you're maybe in one pile, I have 3, 4, 5 states. They get crazy out of control, but then you're going to bid a whole bunch on that one, and then you have to outbid everybody else. And no matter what, because you're not bidding, in a lot of auction-style games, what you bid, if you lose, you get the money back. Yep. But in this, you're bidding in terms of advertisements. So you spent that money regardless of whether you won or not.
And it's gone.
Yeah. Whether you won or lost, you spent that money on advertising.
Yeah, and because of that, and because you only get paid, was it 3 times in this game?
Yeah, there's 3 income phases, more or less.
I mean, money gets really tight, especially towards those last couple of rounds, especially if you're a player like me who advertises poorly, always by just $1 less than everybody else all the time. Money gets really, really tight in this game.
For sure. This game might have, especially the smaller player counts, have the tendency to have a runaway leader problem. But I will say that having those swing states in there that can kind of rock things or go make things go crazy and steal other people's states helps mitigate that a little bit.
So the only thing I want to caveat on this game is the fact that we just did not think it was highlighted well at 2-player, but that's because it's an auction game, and most auction games aren't yay, 2-player.
Yeah.
You tell me one in the comments below that plays perfectly at 2-player, where you would only play it at 2-player and not any other player.
There's probably a whole bunch if we don't know about them, and we're going to look really silly.
That's fine. Tell me about them.
It's true. We want to know about it because we like playing at 2-player.
Yes. So I would just recommend playing this at the 3, 4, 5-player count. You can play 2-player count, and we had fun at 2-player, but I just think that the stress of it, the fun stress of trying to outbid people, is more enjoyable at that higher player count.
Yeah. You guys, this one was a fun one. It's fast. And it was, again, about politics without being political, which is rare and important to talk about.
We guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. You can also find us on Facebook. We are Ryan Bethany Board Game Reviews. On Instagram, we are Ryan and Bethany. And on Twitter, we are Ryan and Bethany 1.
Guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next time. Bye.